Welcome to the Lesson 7 Nutshell. Today, we will be discussing and reviewing the acquiring words strategy. We will begin by reviewing the tools we use to acquire new words. Let's begin with affixes. You probably remember affixes are special word parts that give you clues about the meaning of bigger words. There are prefixes. These are attached to the beginning of the root word, and suffixes. These are attached at the end of the root word. The word disappeared has three parts. Dis is the prefix, meaning not, and ed is the suffix, meaning that the root word appear happened in the past. Another tool we have learned to acquire new vocabulary is punctuation definition signals. These punctuation marks can signal a definition, a description, or a list of examples that can help us figure out the meaning of new words. There's a third tool we can use to acquire new words, our knowledge of word types. We discussed 5 types of words that may be unfamiliar to us while reading. These are abbreviations such as street and Mr., acronyms such as FBI, foreign words such as resume, jargon, if we're talking about Facebook, unfriend, unlike, and proper names, such as Paris, France. Identifying these word types can make an unfamiliar word more familiar to us. To get a more specific definition of a word, we need to look around the sentence for context clues. If you see a helpful picture, graph, or a text box that contains definitions, what you have found is a context clue, our fourth tool we use to acquire new words. In addition to pictures and graphs, familiar words in a sentence and other sentences can serve as context clues. If you are unsure of a word, you can use these steps to help you. First, look at the word and see if there are affixes and a root word you recognize. Second, look near the word to see if there is any punctuation definition signals that can help you define the word. 3. Look around the word for context clues. Fourth, try to determine what the word means. Then, replace your meaning into the original sentence and see if the sentence still makes sense. Finally, if you are still stuck, use a dictionary or ask someone for help. Let's look at a few sentences to practice these steps of the acquiring words strategy. We are watching a mandatory video on fire safety. Let's look at the word we are unfamiliar with. Mandatory. There is not a root word we are familiar with, so let's try looking around the word. Are there any punctuation definition signals around the word mandatory? Yes. In this sentence, the parentheses contains the definition of the word mandatory. Mandatory means required. Since the definition is given to us, we do not need to use any other tools, nor do we need to replace and check. Let's look at another sentence. Janice is picking up fresh rolls and/or croissants from the French bakery for the potluck dinner tonight. The new word here is croissants. First, look at the word. Is there a root word we are familiar with? In this case, there is not. Now, let's look near the word. Are there punctuation definition signals near this word croissants? Yes, there is a slash. This slash indicates that either word, rolls or croissants, could make sense in the sentence. Also notice how croissants is italicized. This indicates that it is a word type. The sentence also includes the context clue, French bakery. This helps us see that the word croissants is a foreign word of French origin. After following the steps, we can now safely assume that the word croissants is a French word for a type of roll or bread. This is the end of Lesson 7. Remember that if you come across a word that you do not know, follow the steps of the acquiring words strategy and use the tools that we have learned.